Hello, everybody. Hi, Ed.
Hi, Vasco.
How are things with you, Ed?
Very good, very good. Thanks for asking. I'm
Okay.
pretty excited for today's episode. Let's see what you have in store.
Yeah, we do have a surprise coming up. I'm just back from vacation, though, and I'm back in the writing cave, as I call it, which, of course, is just a virtual background. By the way, I have a cool trick that I showed Ed last time we recorded. How about this?
I really love this
Where
one.
am I?
Yeah. I've got my tree missing, the little bonsai ginseng tree. It's gone down for maintenance.
All right, cool. So I still have it. Well, this way,
Yeah.
I still have it.
Yeah.
With me, it does not go. All right, cool. So back to the writing cave. We have an announcement this week, right, Ed? It's the first version of the book. In fact, the first version of the first three chapters of the book is now available for download. And I think it's important that it is those three chapters. First, of course, they introduce the book to the reader, but they actually have, the core message is all there in the first three chapters. It's almost like a mini book of the whole book. Of course, there's a lot of other stuff in the rest of the book that we can't, and we don't have space on the first three chapters. But if you've seen all of the videos before, and if you watch the videos that are coming up next, and you read the first three chapters, you're good to go. It really is like almost a self-contained book. So we're really happy to announce that. And let me just put up the download link. So that's it. bit.ly/48 preview, all lowercase and all one word. I'll put it up again later on in the video. But going back to you, Ed, how do you feel about these first three chapters?
I'm pretty excited. And as you just said, that this is like a mini book in itself. How many words did we wrote? I think it's like 15,000 or I
No,
don't know,
it's
10,000 at least.
no, it's more. Yeah, it's 11,671 words for those that are
Yeah.
counting.
So
That's
it's
like
like a
40
Kindle book,
pages. Yeah, exactly. It's 40 pages
right?
basically.
Yeah. So and it explains the bigger picture without the technical nuances of how to get invited to speak at conferences, get recognized as an authority in your industry in 40 pages. So if you were ever wondering how this whole thing works, that's it. This is all you need.
Yeah,
Uh,
so chapter 1 tells you how to get started and actually shows examples of people that have done it, right? It tells you their story, how they did it, and uh, pretty good insights already in chapter 1. If you know, if you want my opinion, I mean, chapter 1 is, in my opinion, already a good to-do list for all aspiring authors, right? And it has great examples of people that have become uh, perhaps the biggest experts in their field, in their communities, at two particular aspects of the work that they do. So definitely a great chapter.
then we have chapter 2, which is about the why authoring. Like if you ever thought that I'm not an author, or I don't like writing, I don't want, like, I don't have things that somebody else will listen to, what should I write about? We
Yeah, and
cover all that.
also, will people even listen to me, right? That's actually the title of a section in that chapter. Will people even listen to me?
Yeah, yeah. And that goes into the details of the method, like how you can actually build a wait list of people even before you start to write a book, and use the power of beta to test your ideas before you commit to writing.
Yeah, absolutely. So in chapter 2, which Ed wrote, by the way, has a great story about Kobe Bryant and Michael Phelps. And you might think that it has nothing to do with authoring a book. Well, then you would be wrong. And that's actually a great story there about how your work as an author is pretty much the same as Kobe and Michael had, right? And also what is the role of an author for the people who are looking for knowledge?
Yeah,
So keep that in mind. And there's a great story if you look it up and read it. And it's a great and inspiring story about how when we get started, we have this, imposter syndrome, as you describe it. Will it work for me? Can I really talk to these people? Can I really teach them something? And then there's the story of Kobe Bryant and Michael Phelps that explain, you can.
I've also included what a 5-year-old taught me in this area. My 5-year-old son has taught me tremendous amount of things that I was taking for granted in my life, and then how it applies to you as an author. Super powerful lesson.
Indeed, and also a lesson that no one would expect until you phrase it that way, right? So chapter 2 is really all about how you can start to feel that you are in the skin of the author, and how to get there, how to create that reputation, and of course to defeat the imposter syndrome, which we all suffer from. And then finally, the chapter 3, which I think starts with a very important lesson. If you are now time poor and money rich, which I'm betting many consultants and even many successful consultants are, you run the risk of becoming time rich and money poor because you're not developing your business. And then chapter 3 goes into why it's important to have a book when you're growing a particular business, or if you want to grow your career, how a book can help you there. But especially, and this is the most important thing in chapter 3, it gives you the overview of the whole process, right? If you read chapter 3 and you do your research, you're good to go. You don't need the rest of the book. You can actually start and follow that process. The chapter 3 actually outlines the most important steps of the process that you can start, and that's the 48-hour process to write your book and grow your reputation and your career and business by writing a book.
Yeah. So I was recently reading a book by the guy who wrote Lean UX, this book. And his book was, I think, named something like Forever Employed or...
Jeff Gotthelf.
Yes, Jeff. So he wrote this book, Forever Employable. I really love this book. It's a very short, I think I read it in 2 hours or something, book. And what he talks about in his book, he gives his example. So this whole book is like an example from one of our from chapter 1 that you are going to download. So it's like how he used, he declared a topic. He called it planting a flag or placing a flag or something like that. Like you declare a flag, which is a topic that's yours, and then you go after it and you build your personal brand. And then eventually as a consultant, gigs start to come to you. So this book is more on a how to. So Jeff is teaching what, but this book, 48-hour book method, is the way you do it, is the way you will figure out what's your flag, what your flag should be, what works best for you, and all those things. So I think it's like perfect in what's going on in the industry right now. What's the need? And he says exactly what you just said, that if you don't build your expertise or recognition as an expert, then the industry will push you back with time,
or push you out, because there will be other experts taking that space.
Exactly, by cheaper and younger people coming in the industry who are probably eventually capable of doing more than what you are capable just by nature of the humanity and technologies. So things that you're working on, things that are your advantage right now will become your disadvantage very quickly. So you need a way for people to seek you rather than you seek either employment or consulting gigs and things like that. And this is perfect companion.
Absolutely. So if you're thinking that, okay, so I need the next step in my career, whether you have 5 years experience or 50 years experience, it doesn't really matter. Writing a book can be that next step in your career. And that's what we do in the 48-hour book. We outline how writing a book can be the next step in your career. I haven't read Jeff Gothelf's Forever Employable, and I think that's a great book. Definitely recommend his work. I've interviewed him a couple of times on the podcast. He's also a keynote speaker on one of the conferences coming up that I'm organizing. But definitely important to create this presence in your industry that goes beyond your day-to-day work, right? That's actually the first message of chapter 3. If you're time poor and money rich, and you continue to be time poor and money rich, at some point you will be time rich and money poor, right? Yeah. So that's what you just said is actually a very important thing to recognize, is that you're either establishing yourself as an expert or you're stopping to be the expert over time.
Yeah. So time is ticking, guys.
Exactly. Anyway, you can get it. You can get the first 3 chapters right now. Just go here, bit.ly/48 preview, and that's the first 3 chapters for you to download. And we'll definitely be in touch. So if you sign up, you get the first 3 chapters, and you'll get even future chapters as drafts come up, and be part of the beta community for this book, and help each other. For example, spar with colleagues to, find out how to present your knowledge, or stuff we're thinking about also in the future, like, how to prepare your talk for your next talk at a conference, how to grow your list, something that Ed's already working on, and list meaning your audience, how to grow your audience. All things that you need to consider when you plan to grow your business, or when you want to grow your career.
Yep.
I think that's it. Short video for this week, right, Ed?
Yep. Punchy, short, because we've got so much to do. We are launching it.
Exactly. All right. I'll see you all next week.
All right.
Ciao, Ed.
See you. Yeah, that was really like the shortest we've